Alice Ball. Index, Family, Childhood and Studies, the Ball Method, Dead Photos. 1. Family. My name is Alice Augusta Ball and I was born on July 1892 in Seattle. My father's name is James Presley. He was a newspaper producer, photographer and lawyer, and my mother is Laura Louise. My grandfather is James Ball, a famous photographer and one of the first African Americans in the United States to learn the daguerreotype technique. You could say that our family is middle class affluently. 2. Childhood and Studies. In 1903, my grandfather and my entire family moved to Hawaii, but unfortunately the following year my grandfather passed away, so in 1905 we returned to Seattle. After returning to Seattle, I attended high school, graduating with honors in science. In 1910, I then entered in the University of Washington to study chemistry. After 4 years of study, I received a bachelor's degree in pharmaceutical chemistry and pharmacy. I also published a 10-page paper along with my pharmacy professor in the prestigious Journal of the American Chemical Society. It was entitled Benzoylations in Ether Solution. After graduation, I received a scholarship to study at the University of California, Berkeley, and the University of Hawaii. I decided to move to Hawaii to study for a master's degree in chemistry. In 1950, I was the first woman and the first African American in the United States to earn a master's degree from the University of Hawaii. 3. The Ball Method. Before I tell you what the Ball Method is, I tell you what is leprosis, the disease for which I found a remedy. In short, it is a disease that has affected mankind for thousands of years, and yet, although many people are surprised by it, it is still present. Leprosis is caused by the Bacillus microbacterium leprae, which is transmitted by droplets from the nose and the mouth of infected people. The infection mainly affects the peripheral nerves and skin, and the patient can develop serious complications such as disfigurement, deformities, and disability, either from neurological damage or blindness. In the laboratory, I work intensely on developing a successful treatment for leprosis sufferers, although the disease is believed that to have affected mankind for at least 4,000 years. In the early 20th century, there was little information on how to cure it, so thousands of people around the world suffered the complex effect of leprosis without adequate treatment, and those who suffered from it were deeply symptomatized. The only antidote administered to some patients was an oil from the seeds of chalmugora tree, used for centuries in Chinese and Indian medicine, but this was only moderately successful, and many lepers refused to receive it because if it was injected, it was extremely painful, and when taken, it tended to upset the stomach. Dr. Harry T. Tolman, who worked at Cali Hospital in Hawaii, specializing in leprosy patients, asked me for help in finding a solution. At that time, leprosis was rife in the Hawaiian Islands, so I isolated the chemical compounds of the oil, and with them I created the first water-soluble remedy, easy to inject because it could be easily absorbed into bloodstream, and thus achieved a successful method of alleviating the symptoms of leprosis. 4. Death. On December 31, 1961, I died at the age of 24. I fell ill during my research and returned to Seattle for treatment a few months before my death. In 1917, an article in the Pacific Commercial Advertise suggests that the cause of my death might have been chlorine poisoning while teaching. However, the actual cause of my death remains unknown, as my original death certificate was meant to indicate that tuberculosis was the cause of my death. Although my career as a researcher was short, the University of Hawaii did not recognize my work for almost 90 years. Finally, in 2000, the university paid tribute by dedication a plaque with my name on it, located on the only chalmugora tree on campus. On the same day, the governor declared February 29 as Alice Ball Day, which is celebrated every 4 years. In 2007, the University of Hawaii again awarded me the Medal of Distinction. And here is a photo of me.